Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be playing with a brand new cosmetics company, and it is the Rebel Lounge Lab Howlin for You Halloween eyeshadow palette. So is this the perfect Halloween palette? What are my thoughts on this brand and what type of look I create? Well then definitely keep on watching. Okay guys, so I actually discovered this brand from Indie Spotlight, which is a Instagram account that likes to talk about the small indie cosmetics brand. And they were advertising this brand and their new Howlin for You, oh, I think I said Howlin, Howlin for You eyeshadow palette. Now this just launched a couple weeks ago. I ordered this on September 13th. I believe that's the day that it launched, and it just arrived here today. You know, it wasn't supposed to be scheduled to arrive until sometime in October, but it is from a cute little Etsy shop. This is a really indie brand, but it's a Halloween theme palette. And if you guys don't already know, can't already tell, I am obsessed with fall, particularly Halloween. So when I saw this, I was like, I have to have it. Now this is a 9-pan eyeshadow palette that retails for $34.99 and can be found on Etsy. I'll have everything about this brand linked down below. I love the fact that it's formulated without parabens, mineral oils, phthalates, trisulfide, something sulfate. It's gluten-free, it's cruelty-free as well. So it's something to definitely take note. But first off, look at the packaging. It is so cute. It's definitely like that retro Halloween vibe. Like this definitely screams like Dracula vibes to me, like the original movie that came out so freaking long ago. But this is what it's screaming out right here. It's super cute packaging. I'm really enjoying it. And when you guys open it up, the inside right here, look how cute that is. I love it. I love that it's the Dracula castle with like a full moon and lightning and smoke. And this one you have a wolf howling, eating some tombstones. And here, I think this is so kick-ass. I love the two different design concepts that they have formulated into one palette. Super cute. And then you actually open it up. This is how the palette looks right here. Now, if that does not scream Halloween vibes to you, I don't know what it screams. I really do wish they had a black shadow on here because black and orange and green and purple are definitely like the Halloween themed colors. But we're gonna be playing with these today. I like how big the pan sizes are right here. I love the names like Zoinks. Love it right here. Shriek, Menace, Illusion, Ghosted, Laboratory, Abyss, Electrode, and Beast right here. So we're definitely be swatching these colors, play around with it, see how well it is, and is it Halloween approved? So let me go ahead and swatch these colors, guys. Alrighty, guys. So this is the swatches right here. First, we have the shade Beast, Electroid, Abyss. There's Laboratory. I always want to say it like laboratory, though I know it's laboratory, but laboratory. Sounds so fancy. Then we do have a pressed glitter right here. This is in the shade Ghosted. It's very beautiful. It has like a green, orange, purple, black glitter in there. I think it's really nice, really wonderful. Then we have Zoinks, followed by Shriek, then Menace and Illusion. Now that is a really beautiful color right there. This whole like thing on my arms screams Halloween to me. I've never tried this brand. I'm so excited to give it a go. It looks like so much fun. I'm gonna do 2 different eye looks today because I have to. I have to play with some purples and some greens. I may play with an orange. I know, orange is my favorite color, and here I am stepping away from it for a minute to play with some greens and some purples, but like, I really want to play some greens and some purples, maybe throw like a black lip in. Ooh, get that Halloween vibe going. If you guys don't know, I am obsessed with Halloween. It is my favorite holiday of all time. I don't think it helps. So my birthday falls on October 26th. So I was born 5 days prior to Halloween. I always told my mom, I wish she would have just held me in 5 days longer so I could have had a Halloween birthday. But I love the month of October. It is my favorite month of the entire year. Not only is it my birthday, but it's Halloween, and I love watching all the horror movies. I love getting the festive like baking horror stuff, listening to some ghost stories, watching some paranormal videos. Like I love everything about Halloween. And what's really special about this year's Halloween is that it falls on a Saturday, a full moon, and it's a blue moon, which is super rare to occur at the exact same time. So I'm hoping to have a really wonderful Halloween this year. I don't know what I'm gonna do because it is COVID, so it's a lot different than how it has been every single year. But I figure while we do the eyeshadow look today, I could tell you guys the origins of Halloween and how it transitioned from a Celtic tradition to the Americanized Halloween that we know today. I know so much about Halloween. I've done a lot of research on it over the years because one of my thesis statements back in college was all about Halloween because I love Halloween so freaking much. You guys see like pretty aesthetics behind my background, but I'm gonna switch it up. When it comes time for Halloween, I want to go like spookity dookity and have it be Halloween vibe. Then I'll go back to this because we got to give Thanksgiving its moment and then Christmas time. So with that said, I'm gonna zoom you guys in and we're gonna create some Halloween looks. Sorry, I could get really into this. Okay, so we're not gonna make fun of the fact that I only have one eye done and one brow done. This is a Halloween episode and we're allowed to be like messy right here. I am gonna go a little unconventional. I'm gonna mix like purple and green together. I don't know if it's gonna be a good combination, but at the same time I also don't care because it's a Halloween episode and you can dress and be whatever you want. That's what I love about Halloween. If I could celebrate Halloween in the beginning of August, trust me, I would, because of how much I love this holiday. So we're gonna lay that down right here and we're gonna start to play around with some colors today. All right, so I'm gonna take you guys back to the beginning of Halloween. So Halloween dates back to ancient Celtic times and it was like their huge festival. Now at that time, the Celtics took over all of Ireland, England, and northern France. And for them, the day marked the transition from the summer and harvest season to the cold, dead season that was often associated with human death. So the night before November 1st, I should probably start doing an eye look. I'm gonna go into the shade Illusion right here. So the night before November 1st, Celts believe that on the night before the new year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. So on October 31st, they celebrated Samhain when it was believed that the ghosts of the dead returned to Earth. For them, they believe that not only did the spirits cause trouble and damage crops, the spirits made it easier for the Druids, which were known as the Celtic priests, to predict the future for future harvest. Like, is next season going to be a really great harvest? Should we prepare? Like, what are we expecting to see next season? So they really took this festival really seriously. It was like their highly most celebrated time. To celebrate that day, the Druids would build a huge bonfire where people would gather and burn all their crops. And they would sacrifice animals to the Celtic deities. And that's just so sad. Because I was like talking to Corey about it. I was like, do you think they like, I don't know, put the animals down mercifully? Or he goes, it's a sacrifice. I'm like, but they did humanely, right? He goes, it's a sacrifice. I'm like, those poor animals. I don't know if I could have survived that time because those poor animals. By the way, this color is so freaking beautiful, by the way. Like, look at that shade. Look how it just lays down and it blended out so beautifully. Oh my god, I love it. Okay, so the next shade we're going to go into is the shade Laboratory right here. Such a beautiful green. I don't know if this is gonna be a good combination, but you know what? It's Halloween. Nothing ever has to match. So during their celebration, Celtics typically wore costume that consisted of like animal skin, animal heads, and attempted to tell each other's fortune during this New Year's Eve celebration. When the celebration was over, they relit their hearth, which they extinguished earlier that evening from the sacred bonfire to help protect them during the coming winter. Also, did you know that 1/4 of all candy sales take place during Halloween? Like 1/4 of the world's candy sales happen during Halloween. That's insane. That's a lot of sales. So by 43 AD, the Roman Empire had conquered a majority of the Celtic lands, and they had 2 festivals of their own that they brought into the Celtic tradition. So the first one was, what's it called? Ferlea, which is celebrated at the end of October, and it's their day to celebrate the passing of the dead. And the second was a day to honor the goddess Pomoa, which was the goddess of fruit and trees, and her symbol was the apple. So it's believed that the bobbing of apples stemmed from her as a way to celebrate her on that day. It's actually really cool. And then as time went on May 13th of 1609 AD, Pope Boniface, I think I'm saying that right, the 4th, decided to mark that day as a way to celebrate all the saints and martyrs. And it became like a huge Catholic feast to celebrate the saints and martyrs. And then Pope Gregory III decided to expand that holiday and move it from May 13th to November 1st and rename it to All Saints Day or All Souls Day, because the church wanted to have a day to celebrate their passing of the dead as well. It's actually believed at that time the church was attempting to replace the Celtic holiday to a more church-sanctioned friendly holiday as well during that time. All Souls Day was celebrated very similar to Samhain, where they would still dance, they'd have parades, they would dress up in costumes, particularly in costumes of all saint outfits, angel outfits, and devil outfits, and they would try to tell ghost stories and still try to read each other's fortunes at that time. So just still trying to celebrate it similarly to the way the Celtics celebrate it. They just kind of put their own twist and flair into it. But as you guys know, whenever you guys move into a new place, cultures take over, like things just tend to like switch and change overall. The celebration of All Saints Day slowly became known as All Hallows Eve, otherwise known as Hallowmas, which then slowly started to turn into Halloween. But I mean, people still say All Hallows Eve. Like I still hear that reference all the time, which I think is really cool. They still reference that. By the way, this is such a beautiful green, and it's blending into the shades so nicely. I wasn't sure if it was going to, but it's such a really pretty color. Like, oh my gosh. The celebration of Halloween here in America was very, very limited at first because of the Protestants' belief. They associated it with witchcraft, and so they didn't want to celebrate it. But the settlers in Maryland and southern states still took on the traditions and still celebrated it because they still wanted to celebrate the traditions that they had grew up and known in Europe. As Americans, Indians, and European ethnic groups begin to mix, the popularization of Halloween started to actually happen throughout the entire country, not just associated with these smaller southern states. For them, the way they celebrated Halloween was they would have public parties, which was their way of gathering together, still share stories of the dead. They would sing and dance and tell fortunes, the same way it has been for hundreds of years. By the 19th century, though, the colonial Halloween featured ghost story, mischief making of all kinds. They would like literally go around and they'd vandalize people's homes and destroy crops and whatnot, because they really wanted to show that the spirits were doing it. At that time, though, it was still not really considered Halloween. It was considered a autumn festival, and it wasn't until the second half of the 19th centuries, when a lot of immigrants from Ireland moved over because of the potato famine, that Halloween started to be practiced and popularized throughout the entire United States. Well, wherever we were at that time, whatever populations we had at that time. At that time, Americans started to borrow the European traditions, and they started to go house to house to start asking for food and money. That is how the tradition of trick-or-treating began, which, by the way, when did we stop asking for food and money? Like, I would go door to door. Can I have some money? Like, I would do that. And maybe food, depending if the food smelled good. But they would do that. But they would go there and ask for food and money. And by the late 1800s, there was actually a huge move to make the Halloween more into a holiday and steer away from the get-togethers and ghost stories and pranks and witchcraft. Though at that time, a lot of young women believed that on Halloween, they can divine their future husband by apple paring, staring into the mirror, and using yarn to predict the name or like the first letter of their husband. I actually saw something like that on Charmed. They actually showed something very similar to that, where like the apple paring, when it went into like the cauldron, formed the letter C, which I thought was actually kind of funny. The next shade I'm going to go into is the shade Menace. I don't know, these shades are going to blend well into each other, but we're going to go for it and we're going to have fun. By the early 20s and 30s, Halloween became a secular community holiday event. Like, it became widely celebrated in the early 20s and 30s. They would have parades and town-wide parties celebrated throughout all the like states and towns wherever you lived at that time. By the 1950s, though, Halloween slowly started to turn into a children's holiday because of the fact that so many people were taking that day to vandalize their neighbor's home. So what they would start doing is they'd bring the kids with them, dress them up in costumes, and have them go door to door, and the kids would ask for treats. And as long as you got a treat, they wouldn't trick your house and vandalize your house. So that's how it slowly started becoming to a kid holiday, where they start handing out candy and treats because they wanted to appease the neighbors and not cause any sort of vandalization and stuff. But that's how it started to transition into the Halloween that we know today, which is a $6 billion holiday, making it the second largest celebrated holiday behind Christmas. Like, how crazy is that? Because neighbors did not want their house to get vandalized, it made it Halloween the second largest celebrated holiday in history. Like, how cool is that? Also, what I found to be really interesting is that by 2018, 25% of all the Halloween costumes that were sold, mostly bought by millennials, were sold for pet costumes. So 25% of all Halloween costumes were pet costumes. And I am so guilty of it because my 2 dogs have 2 outfits each this year for Halloween. Yep, guilty as charged. But that's just some of the information that I know about Halloween and how it became from a Celtic celebrated festival into the Halloween that we know today. It's definitely very, very Americanized. It's definitely very, very different from the festival that was celebrated 2,000 years ago. I mean, obviously people don't need to celebrate crop harvest and ask for safe harvest. Like, that's just something that doesn't ever happen anymore. But it's just crazy to know that like a lot of Halloween parties that take place never really take place on Halloween anymore. They always take place before Halloween and then on Halloween. It's just a day mostly for kids to go out trick-or-treating. Though last year I saw a lot of adults trick-or-treating for themselves, but they were so rude about it. They would literally take the bag and just do this. You're not gonna say trick or treat? Like, hello, trick or treat. You gotta say the words. And Corey would literally call people out. They would just hold their bag open and he's like, what's the magic word? And they just stare at him. He goes, I'm not giving you candy until you say it. And they're like, trick or treat. And I'm like, dude. And half those like kids that I saw, like the teenagers that came over to my best friend's house last year, weren't even in costume. They were just dressed as themselves, just trying to get free freaking candy, which I want to be like, is it really that important to you? And some of them are greedy. Some of them just take handfuls. I'm like, yo, I don't know. So it would have been cool to see how it was celebrated long ago, especially when they went door to door asking for food and money. I don't know. I thought that would have been really cool. I hope this is a good color combination. I really can't tell if it is, but at the same time, I don't really even care because this shadow is just blending so beautifully into this shade. Like, surprisingly enough, these are actually blending really, really nicely into each other. Okay, so for this eye, I think I'm gonna do like a halo eye because I've already done like this design where I did 3 shades. I'm gonna do a halo eye on this one. So we're gonna go into the shade Zoink. I'll never not be able to say it. I feel like that's what Shaggy says. Zoinks! Right here. So I'm going to this deep shade right here. So far, I'm loving this palette. I'm loving the mirror size. I love the theming of it. Oh my god, it's such a pretty freaking palette. It is perfect for the fall and particularly Halloween. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this shade, we're gonna lay it right here. And we're gonna start to pack that in. Oh my god, so if you guys have not seen, I think ColourPop is actually going to be releasing a Hocus Pocus palette. Hopefully they do it justice. Then we're going to go into the shade Ghosted. Now this is a pressed glitter, and you guys know how I feel about pressed glitters. I get really, really weary about it. So we're going to try it first without laying down any glitter glue. Hopefully I won't need any glitter glue. I do have it just in case, but we're going to see how well it does without glitter glue. Because that's always my true test whether or not I'm going to like their pressed glitter formula. So we're going to start to just lay that down right here. So far, so good. All right, well, so far it laid down really, really nicely, but we're going to see how well it does when it gets blended into the next shadows. Because sometimes it doesn't always work whenever you try to blend it. Ooh, I don't know if that's going to be a good color combination. All right. I'm going to try something. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to redo this eye. Give me a second. Okay, so I think I'm going to skip the pressed glitter and just try going with the shimmer instead. So we're gonna go back into the first shade all over again. Zoinks! Okay, I'm gonna go back into the shade Menace right here because I just really love this purple. I don't want to do like purple and orange together. I think it'd be really, really nice. We're gonna take that and we're gonna put that on the outer shade. Okay, so I'm gonna take the color Shriek right here and I'm gonna put it right into the middle. And then we're gonna, oh god, that is so pretty. We're gonna start to blend out everything together. Oh wow, look at that shade. Oh my god, that is so beautiful. Okay, so because I already feel like this video is so freaking long because of the fact that I literally talked all about Halloween and the origins of Halloween, I'm gonna go ahead and spend the rest of the time off camera blending this out, putting on some lashes, and we're gonna come back to see if I can have like a spooky face. This is when I wish I could do like eyeliner, so I can like do like a nice little winged outline and maybe put like some little spider webs and stuff like that, but I'm not there yet. It's something that I'm definitely practicing on, but the day I get it perfected is the day that you guys are gonna see that. So guys, I will be right back. Alrighty guys, and this is the final look. So what are my thoughts on the Rebel Rouge Labs Howlin for You eyeshadow palette? First off, I have got to say that one, I love the pan sizes. The pan sizes are huge. Like they are literally so huge. You get 9 shades for the price of $34.99. You do get a big mirror. I love the inside. It has like a little bit of a holographic shift with some sparkles to it. Very beautiful. But the outside packaging though, it is just so beautiful and it literally screams Halloween to me. Not only is this a different design, but I love this one right here too, the casing that it goes in. It's so pretty. It's like they couldn't decide what would be the best packaging for this to be in. And so they said, you know what, let's just do both. I think the packaging is kick-ass. I love it so much and it just makes me want to celebrate Halloween right now. As for the shadows themselves, I honestly only played with the last 6 shadows right here. So I went in and I did what I did for the top eye, I did on the bottom eye right here, and the same thing for this eye right here. I actually really like how both eyes turned out. I feel like both do represent like Halloween, especially with like the black lip. And the black lip that I'm actually wearing right now is the Lunar Beauty Wicked liquid lip that I'm wearing right now. I almost put on the Jeffree Star Venus Flytrap in the center. I tried it out without any makeup on to see how it looked. It was actually pretty, but it just didn't really matter. If I just had this eye look, I think it'd be great with, but because I had the orange and the purple, it kind of clashed with this. So I decided to just go with the black lip. But these shadows are so pigmented. Now I didn't play with these 3 right here. These are 2 shimmers and 1 matte. I didn't play with these 3 shades, but from the shades I played on here, I freaking love it. Not only are they extremely pigmented, there's a little bit of fallout on the face, not so much on the pan, but a little bit on the face, so do be mindful of that. But the shadows are extremely pigmented. They blended so easily into each other, and the shimmer is freaking gorgeous. I love this shimmer right here. I just think that it is just so pretty. Like, gosh, that is freaking gorgeous. And oh my god, I forgot to mention, I freaking love illusions. This is like the prettiest like purple shimmer I think I've ever come across. It's like a purple gray blue tone. Like, look at that. Oh, god, that is just so unbelievably gorgeous. I love it so much. Now the pressed glitter Ghosted, it's definitely not my favorite formula by any means. I love the With Love Cosmetics and the Tati pressed glitter more than anything because I love a pressed glitter that you can use without having any sort of glitter glue, wet brush, nothing. You just apply with your finger. This applied beautifully, but I could definitely see that it was patchy. I could still see my skin underneath it. I'm sure that if I put glitter glue down, it would have looked fantastic, but the look that I was trying to go for, I just knew that ultimately I didn't want to play around with the pressed glitter, but it's still a really beautiful color. I don't have any pressed glitter that looks like that. The color Zoinks! I freaking love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful orange. So is this Menace. This is like the type of purple I would definitely use for a holiday. This type of purple I would definitely use for like a fall Halloween vibe. And this green laboratory, I think it is so beautiful. It's like the perfect Halloween green. Like this would have been like a really good Oogie Boogie palette. If you guys have not seen me talk about ugly makeup palettes, I'll link the video down below or right up here for you guys. But I talked about how Hot Topic created a Oogie Boogie Night Before Christmas Halloween palette, and it was just horrible. It's just nothing full of nudes, orange, and like pinks. Does not represent the boogeyman whatsoever, but this would definitely represent the boogeyman. And I definitely think this is like the perfect segue into Halloween. So I highly, highly recommend checking out this brand. They are a small indie brand. They are sold on Etsy. They shipped this out within 2 days. Like when they shipped it out, I literally got it within 2 days. They wrote like big thank you note on the purchase. They actually wrote thank you as well, like handwritten. And I just thought that it was so cool. I really, really enjoy purchasing from them. And I also love supporting small indie brands because some of the best makeup I've ever used is from an indie brand. So I highly recommend checking them out. I actually want to see if this palette is on sale still. I really, really hope it is because I want you guys to experience how freaking good it is. Okay, right now it's still showing that it's on their website. So please guys, go check it out if you guys want to have a nice Halloween palette. This is definitely the palette for you, 100%. They also have some other cool ones on their website as well. They have a Karma Chameleon palette, Losing My Religion palette. They have quite a bit of other goodies on here, like Immortal Mattes, like for liquid lips. That's really cool. Some facial soap, and they have some bearded oil. They have like quite a bit of stuff that's on here. Ooh, these lipsticks are beautiful. I love it. I love how they're like just different. I really love it. So please go check them out, guys. I'll have them linked down below. And yeah, I'm actually really feeling the vibe right now, really getting into some Halloween vampiric vibes. I know you guys want me to do like fun Halloween makeup looks for you guys. I'm gonna be really straight up honest with you guys. I'm not technical and creative in a sense of creating some beautiful like sci-fi looks that people can create with like using aesthetics and stuff. I'm not like Robbie Christie level, but I am creative and I can have fun and do like a 5-minute costume. I will do some videos like that and maybe like a Halloween look video. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm so excited to start rolling in the Halloween. I'm excited, and I hope you guys like me telling you guys the story of Halloween. If it sounded a little weird, if I sounded robotic reading it, I just want to make sure I told you guys all the facts. I did have a couple notes laid out for me, so make sure I had all the facts there. And when I first started filming, I wasn't even filming. I was talking for 15 minutes, realizing I never pressed record. My dumbass. So, guys, that is it for today's video, guys. If you guys like this video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post every day, every other day, just depending. Also, make sure you guys head on over to my other channel. It's R for Life. You guys can see my cool, wonderful adventures, amazing fiance Corey. And as always, guys, I want to thank you guys for all your love and support. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Out of breath. And is it the perfect... Hey guys, what's up and welcome. Retails for $34. Now this is a 9-pan eyeshadow palette that retails for $34.99 and can be found at your watching all the paranormal mischief. We feature ghost stories. I love that there's like the Dracula couch. They relit their hearth fires. They relit their hearth. The Americans did borrow some of the European traditions, and they began to go at that time from house to house. They began going from gluten, and it says to please. Oh no.